for coming out to join us for the Dutchess County Executive Budget Presentation. The Dutchess County Deputy County Executive is here, Mr. Bill O'Neill, and he will be giving the presentation tonight. Unfortunately, our county executive, Congressman-elect Molinaro, is down in Washington, D.C. Congratulations to him. But we have a very good stand-in with the Deputy County Executive, and we're very happy to have him here. And would everybody please rise for the pledge? Our County Legislator, Steve Caswell, will join us for the pledge.
All right, thank you. Are we ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd just like to note a few elected officials here. Our county legislator, Steve Caswell from East Fishkill. Our county legislator, John Metzger from East Fishkill. Our town councilman, Tom Franco. And thank you to all the residents and everyone who come out tonight. And without further ado, our deputy county executive, Mr. Bill O'Neill. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, well, thank you, Nick. And you know, I just want to say, you know, you're doing a great job down here in East Fishkill. And we owe you a round of applause, so thank you. You have made this municipality the crown jewel of the county. You truly have, and it's certainly due to all the hard work and effort that you put in, so we appreciate that. And I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. As Nick said, those of you who came to see Mark Molinaro, I apologize. He's in Washington, not going to be here, although I will be saying some nice things about him. So if you want to stick around, you know, you may like hearing them. Come on in. Have a seat. The 2023 executive budget was presented to the county legislature on November 1st. And it is Mark Molinaro, County Executive Molinaro's final county budget, and it is a very good one. Mark, as you know, is heading to Washington, and he will be the congressman representing New York State 19th Congressional District. And we will miss him, and we wish him well, but quite frankly, I think we need him more in Washington right now than we do in Dutchess County. As a matter of fact, I think the country could use a few more Marks, and it would probably be good if they ran the country like we run Dutchess County, but personal opinion. I've been Mark's deputy executive and chief of staff for the past 11 years, and in January, per the charter, I will become the county executive for the remainder of his term, which ends in December of 2023. In November of 2023, there will be an election for a new county executive who will take office and then begin a 4-year term starting in January of 2024. I will not be running for that office at that time, although there may be a person in the room that might be interested in that, but I can't go into that at this time, so we'll just leave it there. You know, one of the hallmarks of the Molinaro administration has been partnerships, especially with municipalities, and East Fishkill has been a great partner with us, and we certainly thank you and the council here for all the help that you've given us as we've worked through our issues and all the things that are good for the county. Our county legislature has been a great partner with us as well. And as Nick said, we have a few of those representatives that represent you here today. Steve Caswell, and thanks Steve for doing the pledge, and John Metzger. Also Donna Bollner and Ed Hauser are also representing you well, and we thank them for their dedicated service. And I certainly look forward to our continued good relationship that we've had over the past years. Now, as good a leader as Mark Molinaro success doesn't happen without a good team. And we in the county have a spectacular team. A few of those members are here tonight, and I'd like to introduce a few of them. I'm not going to introduce them all, though, because, as Nick told me, we don't want you to know who's the the audience here, you may, think we planted, some people here. But I do want you to meet Jess White. She is our budget director. The county budgets that we produce are big, they're detailed, they're complicated, and Jess is extremely knowledgeable and very experienced in creating those budgets, and it amazes me how she makes it simple every year. But it's not simple. And over the years, she and her team have been recognized for their excellence and innovation in creating budgets, municipal budgets. And it's not just the mechanics and the process of getting the budget completed, but under her leadership, the budget team delves into each and every county department and what their functions are and the understanding of what it takes to achieve the dollars that we're spending on each of those departments. And it's that knowledge that makes her very valuable as a senior member of our staff, and she contributes to both the strategic direction that we set for the future as well as the tactical decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis. Also with us tonight is Rachel Casimir. Rachel is Assistant County Executive. Rachel is what I call a quick study. She picks up things extremely fast and applies them, and she's a great teacher to others. Come on in. Rachel was our go-to during COVID, and she too is very functionally knowledgeable on our county departments, and I'm happy to say that she will be my deputy in 2023. Our communications director is with us here tonight, Colleen Pillos, and Colleen handles all the press interaction for the county, and the volume of work that her and her team handle is just mind-boggling. But like Jess and Rachel, Colleen is very functionally knowledgeable, and she provides very clear insights to the public on what we do in county government. And I'd like to give them a round of applause because they're my team. As I said, we have others here, and the only one that I will recognize is my department head and commissioner for the Office of Computer and Information Services, Central and Information Services, and that's Glenn Markey. So, and he's a resident. He's a Fishkill resident. All right. But like I said, I don't want to give away the fact that we have a lot of our staff here tonight. So, now, the 2023 budget. The image you see here is pretty interesting. As I said, this is Mark's final budget. So as you look at the picture, the question becomes, is it a sunset or is it a sunrise? So if it's a sunset and, it's Mark moving to Congress and this is his last one, or maybe it's a sunrise and it's the positive horizon that we have as we transition the leadership. It certainly does provide an interesting consideration, perhaps even a little bit of an analogy here, but it's very important because budgets don't stand on their own. Budgets are a compilation of many years, and that's how we have run the county over these past 10, 11 years, is every year trying to make things better. The first budget we dealt with was at the back end of the Great Recession. And in fairness to Mark's predecessor, who was Bill Steinhaus, his last budget, and the one that Mark inherited, had few options. And they were massive layoffs, a huge tax increase, or appropriating most of our existing fund balance. And Bill opted to use the fund balance, but in actuality, we only used a percentage of that fund balance because we had very careful management over that year, and we were able to control expenses. Although in the following year, as you see on that headline, we did have a major personnel reduction, and it was painful. But it also was the beginning of a multi-year process that produced some amazing results. And we did have a decade of successes. We added to the quality of life amenities for our county residents by enhancing Quiet Cove Riverfront Park, Bowden Park in Wappingers, Wilcox Park in Milan, and of course Dutchess Stadium, the home of the Renegades, who are now a New York Yankee Farm Club. We expanded our linear parks, the William R. Steinhaus Dutchess Rail Trail, which begins here in Hopewell Junction, the Harlem Valley Rail Trail, which now extends all the way up into Copiague Falls, connecting with the Columbia County Trail. The new Urban Trail, which is the north sideline, and that provides the city and the town of Poughkeepsie access to the walkway over the Hudson. And then we've added new parks. We added early on a pocket park in the city where the Nelson House Annex once stood, right near the county office building. Lake Walton Park, which is here in East Fishkill, which will become an all-access property. And then our latest acquisition was Camp New Teaming, which was a Boy Scout camp that is now a county property in Pleasant Valley. And through our Partnership for Manageable Growth initiative, we have protected more than 5,300 acres of farmland. We've invested significantly in mental health services, and the Stabilization Center is certainly the highlight of those efforts. This unique and innovative project has become a state model, and it's being duplicated now in counties throughout New York. We've turned our airport into a profitable venture, and the future continues to get brighter. The Dutchess Community College hangar that we built houses the college's aviation program, where we are training airframe mechanics who will enter an in-demand field, and they can obtain high-paying jobs in that field. We also continue to invest in our youth, and wisely. Our Path to Promise initiative is designed to provide the opportunities to the assets necessary for success to all county youth. And perhaps one of our greatest projects is building the new Justice and Transition Center. Our current jail is old, outdated, and inefficient, but our new facility will change all of that. And in conjunction with our efforts to rehabilitate those that are incarcerated rather than just warehouse them, we will open this new facility in 2023 on time and under budget. These are just a few examples of the many things we've accomplished over the past decade, but through it all, we ensured good fiscal management. And today, Dutchess County has the highest Standard & Poor's bond rating of any county in New York State. We've delivered to our constituents what is most important to them, tax relief. And 2023 is the 9th consecutive year of tax cuts, and this year's property owners will see a 12% tax rate reduction. Now, the 2023 budget we built it focused on three key areas: community safety, think differently, and supporting our Dutchess County families. We've strengthened our school resource officer program by adding 2 more officers, and that total is now 13, located in 8 school districts. As part of our police modernization plan, we've committed to providing body-worn cameras with the goal of every police officer in Dutchess County wearing one. We've implemented a new program called LEAD, which is Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion, and that's where mental health trained resources will work with law enforcement officers to identify and assist those individuals with the most difficult mental health and substance abuse issues by using intensive case management. And finally, our highly effective drug task force is being expanded as we continue to apply a serious effort to stem the influx of opioids and fentanyl into Dutchess County. We are making a significant investment in housing with the new emergency shelter in the city of Poughkeepsie. We're funding to help prevent evictions countywide, and there's a new trust fund to get more affordable housing in Dutchess County. We have a commitment to improve the lives of our seniors our senior citizens, or older citizens, as I think the phrase goes. We are, and I'm one of them now, so I can say that. We are a very active, we have a very active office for the aging, and we continue to look at programs to help our seniors. One of the areas is to help them avoid being scammed, because that seems to be something that is happening so often today. And we are doing things to help them to not do things that are detrimental to their physical and mental health. And we also are expanding our outreach with regular calls and support to caregivers. In 2023, we are moving our Veteran Services Office to a new central location in Pleasant Valley, and we are co-housing it with our Vet-to-Vet program, and we will have a space for vets not only to provide services, but where they can go and talk to one another, peer-to-peer, at their space. In 2023, we will continue to support several of the very successful programs that have been so well received by our veterans, including the HEROES program, the Vet-to-Vet program, the Tommy Zerhelen Fund, and there's a new $150,000 mini-grant program that helps municipalities and veteran organizations with local programs for their communities. We will also continue to support our youth. We are building the Youth Center in Poughkeepsie. The U, or the Youth Opportunity Union, will take a few years to get it built, but in the meantime, we are supporting the You Without Walls initiative, which will start the programs that we plan to operate out of the new facility. We have a program for at-risk youth where we create relationships between youth and law enforcement, a mentoring type initiative. And the Path to Promise program provides mini grants to partner groups in Dutchess County to expand the assets that are available to our kids. And then there's Camp Uteaming, which, as I said earlier, is a 270-acre property that is being dedicated totally to youth development programs. And then there's Think Differently, a program started by and near and dear to Mark, and we will continue to support that initiative this year with the All Abilities Action Plan, and it's centered around these 5 areas that you see on the screen. Our total budget for 2023 is $560 million, and that is a little higher than our adopted budget of last year, which was $533 million, but it is under the actual budget for 2022, which was $601 million. As I said before, this is the 9th consecutive property tax cut. The total tax levy is under $100 million, which is the lowest in 14 years. And we have provided levy cuts in excess of $8 million since 2015. The tax rate reduction since 2015 is a total cumulative of 32%. And then last year, we enacted the no sales on clothing and footwear under $110. So, sunrise or sunset? Well, it is Mark's sunset on his executive reign in Dutchess County, but the red sky at night adage, I think, is a sign that it is a delightful future ahead in 2023. And, I'm often asked the question, how are things in county government? A couple people asked me that tonight. And I always respond positively because things are going well. And I think we are blessed to live in this great county called Dutchess. And we have a very talented and capable team of dedicated professionals that are running county government. But there is an awful lot of routine in government service. And oftentimes that causes a mediocrity to set in, and that causes a bureaucracy to occur. And then there's a lack of the desired results. But I just want to say that in Dutchess County, things are different because there's a lot of people who care, and a lot of people that are very focused. And as a result, we are productive, and we deliver. And that is why we have been successful in the past, and that is why I believe we will continue to be successful. And with that, I'd be glad to take a few questions. Or comments. Or complaints.
Okay, I enjoy seeing what you have there for building a youth center, activities like that. Is that in Poughkeepsie where the Y was?
Yes,
Are you talking about? Okay.
that is where it is.
And it's going to be targeted for youth?
That's, yes. It'll
Okay,
be,
so what I'm here for is because young seniors is the age group 65 to 74, and they actually comprise 9.1% of the U.S. population. I'm not sure how much of the population of Dutchess County is young seniors, 65 to 74. I don't know if they play pickleball and golf and disappear and go to Florida, or if they stay here and wait till they're older than 74, and then you have to address them with preventive things about financial scams and anti-hoarding. That's what I saw for seniors there. I think
those are new initiatives.
new initiatives. I'm aware of the initiatives that Office of the Aging has, and they really seem to me to target people who are not that healthy over 74. So what I'm talking about is we lost the Y many years ago. There is no place for an adult to swim indoors or get swimming lessons during the day or take a younger child and teach them to swim. There's no Y. Westchester has like 3 or 4 Ys. Kingston has a Y. My daughter lives in Rochester. There's about 20 Ys within a half-hour driving distance. And it's a big force of the community because people that are retired and semi-retired, those young seniors, 65 to 74 years of age, they stay in the community because they have something to do and they stay healthy. There's nothing like that here in Dutchess. People just leave. I'm on the cusp of that. I'm actually going to be 64. I have to get up at 4:30 because the only place I can swim is the culinary with the team from 6 o'clock to 7:15 in the morning. That's the only time. We're missing things that would help young seniors stay healthy and maybe live here before they come the cases that you have to manage with Medicare and worry if they're going to fall and give them a lunch day once in the summer. People can stay healthy way past 74 if you keep them healthy from 65 on. So I don't know if anybody even looks at that or they just figure these people are going to go away or they're going to stay here and we have to take care of them as they age. But I'll shut up and I'll end with the World Health Organization's definition of health. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Think
Okay.
about that for the old people.
Well, I will, and I'll make a couple of comments. The first is that the U is primarily designed for our youth. And, you know, just as you went through all the litany of things that are needed for seniors, we have that need for youth, and the inner city youth especially, if we're going to stem the problems that we have now with youth violence. So that kind of prompted a lot of what we're doing. But in the process, and we did a significant outreach in terms of what people wanted, and not just youth, but, you know, people, you know, adults, seniors, all ages. What do you want to see in a building like this, which, you know, is a YMCA type building? And all the things that you mentioned were things that were told to us, especially by the older community. And so we are, one of the major components is a pool. We are trying to size that now in terms of how can we accommodate all the different needs of a pool, which run from teaching young kids how to swim to people that want to swim laps and do it on a very, you know, kind of active basis, to seniors that want to have exercise programs in it, or just to get into a pool and walk. So we've looked at that, and that is something that we are adding to that facility. So it is something we're looking at. But I would also say, in terms of seniors, and in terms of our Office for the Aging, yes, we do focus on those seniors who have problems. We provide meals. We do these caregiving calls, caregivers who are going out to those communities. Those are the people that need the most help. But that's not all we do. Our senior centers are very active, and we have mind-expanding games that we have with them to keep their minds active. We have nutrition programs. We have exercise programs. So we do a lot of that with them. And just to add to your comment about losing people who play pickleball, we're putting in some pickleball courts in Quiet Cove, and we are going to have a senior day or program so that we can teach people how to play, so that they can come out and exercise. And I play pickleball because I'm a senior, and I highly recommend it because it is a very active sport, but it doesn't take a lot of movement. It's not going to, put you into a situation where you can get hurt, but it's fun, it's social, and there's a lot of good exercise with it.
It does take some degree of conditioning before the weather warms, because I live in a place where they play, and as soon as it gets nice and the nets are out, this year at least 2 people got injured. Because they're not standing on one leg, they're not bending down, and they hit their head and they... So, there's a year-round need for fitness. And when you're in northern climate, you do need to provide a place where people can do that so they don't get hurt.
We'll make that part of the clinic when we teach them how to play, is the getting exercise before you're stretching and doing the exercises necessary to play. But it's just another aspect of what we're doing. So we are trying to provide for all older citizens in Dutchess County. But you are correct. We do a whole lot of things for those that are a little bit more infirmed, those that have a difficulty living independently, so we try and provide the services that allow them to do that. That's really kind of the major focus. But it doesn't mean that we don't look at all of the seniors. And we're very open to suggestions and to ideas that can enhance our services. So at the senior centers, it's open. If people come in and they want to do something, we add that to the repertoire. We can have, if they want to play, mahjong, okay, we'll set up a day or, a morning when they can do that. And I'm just throwing out some of the things that I remember. But, we're open to ideas. So I hope that is a good answer. Yes?
Could you just explain to me, what is the difference between the family partnership on North Hamilton Street and the YMCA? What is the difference? I'm sorry.
Well, the family partnership, I believe, was started as a community facility that could bring together programs for various needs within the community. So you've got the lunchbox there, or had, Dutchess Outreach.
So why do we need a whole other building?
Pardon?
Why do we need a whole other youth initiative building for the youth? Because we spend millions on that, right?
Well, we haven't spent millions on it yet, but yes, we probably will spend millions because it's an expensive proposition to build today. But they don't have a pool. They have a very limited gymnasium. And so those are a pool and a gym are kind of mainstays in a Y.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Kaiser.
Yes, so one of the newest county parks is right here in East Fishkill, Lake Walton Preserve.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just give us an update on what's going on over there?
Well, you would think that, with us trying to do something for people that have difficulty getting around, that and building an all-access park, you would think that we would have every organization trying to help us. It's kind of been the opposite. We've had everybody telling us all the reasons why we can't build a trail that does that. And from Indiana bats to, bog turtles to you name it. So we've had a whole lot of that to deal with. But we've dealt with it, and, as I think you know, I thank you for the question, but I think you know, we are on our way, and we are going to get that track built so that you'll be able to experience Lake Walton and walk around it, regardless of whether, you need a walker or a wheelchair, or, and you can access that from the Dutchess Rail Trail, so you'll be able to come down. That was part of it, is trying to find a way to do that without disrupting the Indiana bats that don't live there but could if they decided they liked that tree. That has presented a problem. But we are going to make that, the first phase of that is to build a trail. So you can come off the rail trail, you can come down into the park, you can go around the lake, and you can experience that. Longer term, we hope to put up kiosks that explain a lot of the fauna and the plant life that is in there. We hope to put up all-access fishing decks that you could go out kind of into the lake and be able to use that and do fishing and things of that nature. So it's going to be really nice, but it just took a lot longer than we thought when we started it. Anybody else? Yes?
I see the mental health on the board for Mark's budget. Is there any way we can get more staff for more, the group homes, to get more staff and money, higher, budgeting to hire more, but build the amount of money to build up to mental health? Because there's not enough staff for the group homes.
All right, let my budget director take that question. She's really good.
Yeah, the state basically funds the group homes. The county doesn't fund group homes in the county.
We actually don't, they're administered through O&M.
I know.
So that's something that, as you know, Congress is always advocating for additional funding, additional beds, additional beds, and trying to get the service provider rate increase, which I think has just happened. Yes, there was a state budget rate increase for direct care workers, and I also recognize that there's staffing shortages in almost every industry right now, and certainly the direct care industry, it's been hit very hard.
Are they going to be improvement for the next, I think, starting in January? Or are we going to stay the same, or
Well,
what?
hopefully with the state budget increase, that helps with, yeah, I don't know exactly when that goes into effect. I'm not sure. We probably find out. Yeah, we can assume, yeah.
Yeah, and another thing, about Think Differently for disabilities, can we have a program for learning disabilities? There is a Wildwood program in Albany, okay? And I would like to have something down here for people with learning disabilities, not only for disabilities, but for learning disabilities, like maybe in Mid-Hudson. So, huh? A program. Yes, for tutors. There is I'm involved with it. There is workshops for dealing with lost emails, communication, how to do different things for people with learning disabilities, plus with developmental disabilities. If we can put that, and I know Mark has it for Think Differently, if we can bring something to Mid-Hudson, plus build this up with disabilities and learning disabilities, if we can do that, that'd be awesome.
I think there's something called Greystone programs that does that.
We have a lot of,
Like this, there's a lot of service providers that are in the intellectual and developmental disability, world, but I'd be glad to look at what this Wildwood program is.
right, that's, I was going to say, we have a lot of partners.
Yeah.
Bill, I think a lot of the early intervention programs are targeted towards
Identifying
those
that.
problems and then dealing with them and finding resources within the community to help the individuals at a very early age where they can learn these skills as they get older, so when they're older, they have the abilities to do these things already. And I think that early intervention, if I remember correctly, is funded, it's 100% reimbursed by is it the state that reimburse the early intervention? Because I think we had a discussion about no matter how much they spend, the state has to pay it. So it's not like you can throw more staff at it because it's just whatever it is, it gets paid by
If
the
the
state.
state reimburses 49%.
49%.
Yeah. But I think to your point, what John's saying is that we have these mechanisms to help identify that learning disability early on. And there are a lot of programs, we have many partners that provide that. But I do think that it sounds like a good program. We're always open to look at new programs, so we will.
Right, I know for second languages, there's tons of it for learning. But there's not enough things for learning disabilities for literacy volunteers. There's a lot of it for second languages, but not enough for learning disabilities.
Catherine Kubrick to Dana Hopkins, our All Abilities Program Director, and she can either let you know if they're niche programs that maybe we just aren't aware of, that we can't tell you about very well top right, or, you know, we can look into how to access that wildlife program.
Right.
Because if it's a state program, it might be available. So when I was kind of looking over your shoulder, I saw some of them online. So if you have come up with that, that'd be great.
Like qualify for online, but we got Albany, and Albany has broader things for disabilities, not enough down here in the town. Not even between Albany and New York City, there's nothing. Nothing. I've been pushing this for Mark, and now it's going to be longer because we're trying to get this program to go into Mid-Hudson. So between...
You already asked Mark?
No, I have not asked Mark about this one yet. That's one of the reasons why I'm here.
Well, we'll be glad to look into it.
And another thing, are we putting more cops on the road for,
They're hiring, they're trying.
We are.
because
We are in the sheriff's office.
we need more cops on the road for safety and violence and guns and, we need more, especially down in Dixon. Because I know probably everybody knows that.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Thank you very much, everyone, for coming out tonight. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And, you know, it's going to be a good year. Right, Nick?
Absolutely.